In the comments if you can hear, so we can get started. In the comments if you can hear, so we can get started. In the comments if you Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me in the comments, if the sound is okay, if the music's okay. Okay, beautiful. Let's get underway. 1 second. So what we're looking at here for Bitcoin, we've just had the news come out right now at 12:30. We've seen a little sign of strength, reclaiming 87,500. Basically what I've been looking at is, oh, alert's going off crazy now. Okay, so James, if you wanted to take a cast long, now would be a good time to start getting in after this 5-minute candle. We want to see where this closes. We're hitting a nice level of confluence. Previous day value area low at 0.04498 and this naked daily level have just been hit. Let's zoom out a little bit and have a look at that. Let's have a look at, so Bitcoin's taking a bit of a dive. We need this news to settle, guys. We don't want to take anything just yet. We want this price action to settle after the news. But CAS is looking good so far. CAS is looking nice. It's in a place of support. Bitcoin as well. Two options on the long for me. We come down to 86,769 and we take this liquidity right here. Okay. The reason why I'm looking at that is because we have some nice confluence from the low, overall low of the range to the previous high. We have, you can see we have the value area low down here, the golden pocket, and this liquidity zone, okay? So if we can get a swing failure pattern of this level here, we can trigger a nice long. Obviously, if we just break straight through, then we're going to be looking to lower prices. Or if we reclaim 87,522, because we've managed to do that earlier, if we can get back up above here, we can take a long as well. We just need to see what happens. We've also got New York opening in 50 minutes. So we might just have to be a little bit patient. Alerts are set. So basically, while we're in this zone right here, okay, while we're in this zone, this is a no trading zone for me because I don't know what's going to happen while price is in here, okay? I'm only going to act when alerts go off here or down here. I want to see the reaction. So in the meantime, I want to ask you guys, Guys, can you let me know if the music is okay? Let me know if it's too soft, if it's too loud. Let me know if the music is all good. So right now, guys, price is at 87,429 and we're in no man's land, okay? We don't need to rush anything yet. We've just had news come out 10 minutes ago. So we need to wait. We need to wait for either 87,522 to be reclaimed, or we come down to 86,769 and we fail to break down. So let's just see. When these alerts start to go off, we can go straight back into the charts and get ourselves into a nice position. So what's happening? Okay, so we're back above 87,522. Let's see how we close in the next. I'd like to see a 30-minute candle close above that level to trigger a long. So we've got a little bit of time here. Guys, I'm new to streaming. I haven't done it for a while, so I just want to check the music again, see why it's not working. I've just turned the music up in OBS a little bit, so let me know if you can hear it working. I just want to get everything set up so I know in the future everything, you know, what I need to have on, off, at what levels, etc., so I don't have to play around. Right now it's a bit of a testing game. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so looking good right now. Looking nice. We just want to get this, we want to be sure that we're reclaiming this zone, because obviously we've had a little bit of a choppy price action. This is a support and resistance level. Remember, Viron, I was telling you earlier today, I wanted to see either 87,520 reclaimed or coming down lower and checking the reaction. You were speaking about taking a long down here, and I was letting you know that we're definitely going to come up here, test this zone. Initially, it looked like we were going to get that rejection, okay, and then come down further. However, Bitcoin had other ideas. We've claimed this level. We've come back down to retest it, and we just want to see now. We don't want to rush into anything, okay? We want to check. We've got another 15 minutes to see how this closes, and we can look for something like this, guys. We can look for long position with our entry around here, stop loss beneath the low, so we know exactly where our invalidation is, about 1% away, and we're going to be first, we'd be taking, let's have a look where the VWAP is actually. Let's take a look. Okay, so we're not going to be taking profits at the VWAP because it's too close if we do get into this trade. However, the high here, that's where I'd be looking to take profits, or either the 618. TP1, your choice, either this high here. I like this high because it's on the 0.5 as well. You could easily SFP off that high and come straight back down. So I think I'm going to be taking TP1 here if I do get into the trade. I did take a position earlier as well at this same level, but I'm probably going to add to that if we get this close above. But yeah, the next TP zone, TP2 is definitely going to be at this 90,643, guys. A lot of liquidity here. We front ran that zone earlier or yesterday, so that's going to be a big level of confluence. But let's see what happens here if we can get that. It's looking good so far. Have a look at some order flow charts. There's no real bullish or bearish CVD at the moment. It's quite neutral. Not too much volatility with that news. So let's see what happens when New York opens. How's CAS looking? Okay, so CAS is getting a nice reaction off that daily and previous day value area low. It would be nice if it actually came down to this anchored VWAP from the local low from Friday the 19th low. That would be nice if it could hit that VWAP. The VWAP's coming in at the 786 roughly. What's the stock market doing? So the stock market's testing the low. Yeah, so we might actually just, they've retested. Yeah, they've actually retested that value area high. We might just get an SFP here on the ES. But let's see what happens here for Bitcoin. Guys, in terms of getting shorts, the shorts have been missed. There's no local areas where I'll be looking for shorts. You know that the short was up here when we took Thursday's high. Just for education, just to show you guys as well why we got rejected from where we did yesterday. There was this weekly level. I had actually moved it off my charts and forgotten about it. But we had this weekly level, okay? That was like probably have a look at this. It was front ran to like the dollar really, by like a couple of dollars. So as you can see, we didn't quite hit it on the 18th. So technically it still was a naked level and a big level of resistance. You can see yesterday we came into that weekly level and rejected off it really nicely. Note to myself, do not remove levels unless they've actually been hit to the dollar, because it was really well respected and it maybe would have given me some more insight to take that short trade, because that was a really nice trade. Nice move. Let's check out the comments here with you guys. Alexander, Viron, what's up? Oh, Viron, you got the short from yesterday's high. Beautiful, man. Yes, Alexander, I would want to wait. I'm waiting for CAS to either hit that anchored VWAP a little bit lower, or just waiting to get that confirmation from Bitcoin. Once we get that confirmation from Bitcoin, it's going to give us the entry for pretty much anything that we're looking at, right? So I don't want to rush into anything. So yeah, let's see what Bitcoin does. $50-50 at the moment, which direction this is going to go. 50-50. But I do have a feeling that, as soon as New York opens, we're going to get some volatility. And often you get a shift in direction. So for example, if it opens bearish, we could actually end up going bullish, and vice versa, right? So we just want to be vigilant. Unless we get a very nice close, something clear on the 30-minute candle, you know. If we sort of close right on this level, I might just wait another 30 minutes to see, or even a bit longer, to see what happens when New York opens, guys. So Cass is coming down now. We also have a really nice zone of confluence, the MPOC and weekly, just beneath that anchored VWAP as well. Let's have a look. So that's matching up with the 886 and the 0.5. So a really nice zone here as well. So yeah, guys, just gonna wait around a little bit. I'm gonna take a little break, because nothing. Yeah, we want to see what happens after this volatility. Yeah, guys, I'll move it. Sorry about that. Let me know if that's okay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have my webcam lined up with the object tree on the right hand side. Let me know if that suits. Could you move your webcam to the left side so we're able to see the numbers? Sometimes we can't see them. Yeah, it should be sorted now. Let me know. I've got a feeling this level's going to be respected. But let's see. 87,520. Ethereum. So Ethereum with Ethereum getting a nice reaction from 2933 as well. Wow, and if that gets lost for Ethereum, if 2933 gets lost for Ethereum, there's not a lot of support beneath. This is a daily level. That daily level's already been hit. Below. Do we have any weekly levels? No weekly levels beneath. Okay. Get rid of that. So they're the two closest levels I see for Ethereum. Currently, we've already had that tested. 2933, 2827. So Ethereum needs to get back above this point of control, 2950, to really push on to higher prices. But it looks like it's getting a nice reaction here. Okay, so this is going to be Bitcoin dependent. For those of you that trade Ethereum, it is getting a nice reaction, but let's see. Yeah, no worries. I'm sorry about that. I'll leave the object tree there so that you can see everything. No worries at all. I need to find a better setup as well, because currently I have this waiting room that you're seeing at the moment, and then when I switch to the other overlay, which is a shared screen, if I want to come back and check the comments, it's a bit annoying, right? Because it flicks between the different screens. So if any of you have a suggestion of how to set that up so I can actually check the comments and the charts at the same time without flicking between, maybe I need an actual, I'm thinking I need another monitor. But I'll make do for now, it's all good. Couple of minutes to this 30-minute candle closes. It's looking good. It is looking good. I like this price action for a long, maybe, you know, taking a small position here, guys. I am currently in a long position. You can, let's see. I'm currently in a long from earlier. Still underwater a little bit. In a $63,000 long, underwater just a tiny bit. 0 point something percent. Nothing significant. The reason I took that long was because earlier we had closed the 30-minute candle above this level, above 87,527. And I took it because I've had some really nice trades lately, and I've got a close invalidation level here just beneath the wick. So yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have waited for New York to open, or, you know, but let's see. Okay, so ES is getting that move to the downside. Next level of support is the value area high. We need to find support here for the ES if we want to see continuation higher for crypto. We've got that daily level there. Weekly level. So yeah, this daily level matching up with the value area high here is going to be a nice little level for the ES to get a bounce from. CAS. So CAS has hit that daily level twice. Guys, I think we're going to need to wait for New York. I think there's a bit of volatility is going to come in, obviously, when New York opens. So, but yeah, CAS is looking a little bit like it's forming a diamond bottom here. Okay, so something like this. Yeah, anyway, bit of a diamond bottom. Let's see. I like the fact that it made these lower highs and then actually went a little bit higher. So I like the fact that it came up, pushed up higher twice actually, and now it's trying to get acceptance back above these lows here. And I was saying, I think in the stream as well, I love when you front run a level like this as well, okay? Because a lot of the time it's the market makers building liquidity. So a lot of the time it will be early longs that are going to get stopped out. They get the direction right, okay? The price will still go in their direction. However, they get stopped out of the trade because they've got their stop losses beneath these lows, and then you have another attempt and you get that move to the upside. So these are the kind of patterns that I look at when you have high confluence zones and you stop just before, especially when you stop before during the Asian session, okay? So that was earlier today, 6-7 hours before New York opens. You kind of have that understanding in your head. Okay, market maker's setting something up here. You make that slight higher, and these, a lot of people are, you know, getting bullish up here as well. So the market makers are taking money from both sides. This is just a range, really, okay? And this range can be traded until it's broken. For example, you could have looked at it like this. Okay, you had, whether you're using this high or this high as the range high, but it could look something like this: range high, range low. I love to trade these kind of ranges, and when you have the fake out and then you gain acceptance back in the range, you can take a short position, okay, stop loss above the high, and then when you come down and you see that, you know, you're getting acceptance back above the range low, well, you can take the long as well, and you can have both open at the same time with stop losses above the high, beneath the low, and then it's just a matter of patiently waiting, and one will cancel the other one out, okay? And then you're in a winning trade, whichever way that the market decides to turn. So I like this little range here for CAS. Order flow. Okay, this is nice because what we're seeing here is absorption at the lows, okay? Shorts opening here at the lows, but the price is not going anywhere. So a little bit of absorption, nothing major. Of course, massive shorts could come in and just push this, you know, down extremely quickly. So we need to be vigilant. Let's just wait. We don't need to rush. Let's just wait for New York, 25 minutes. Yeah, good idea. I can use my phone, can't I? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use my phone for the comments. Okay, I'll have a look at ETH. ETH. So Alex, you said ETH looks like a nice short if it loses support. ETH looks like a nice short if it loses support. See, that's the thing. I don't like shorting at support, okay? Because where do you put your stop loss? If we lose support here at 2933, where does our stop loss go? It's too difficult. I would rather wait for a rise and then short. But I mean, you can, yeah, if you're finding success shorting from the lows or longing from the highs, if you have a strategy, then yeah. But personally, I just find it difficult to do because I'm big on my risk management, and I struggle to find a good place to put my stop loss. And also, you'd be shorting into support, quite close into support. We've got the value area low here. That's the, yeah, if we, that value area low, let's see where it matches up with the, a bit far away from the golden pocket. Let's have a look at some order flow for ETH. Let's have a look at some order flow for ETH. Ethereum. Bybit. Let's look at Binance futures. Okay, wait for this to load up. Guys, if you have any other coins that you want me to look at, or you want me to explain anything at all, you know, just put it here in the comment section. If you've got anything you want me to look at. Fuck, it's taking forever. This is usually fast. I'll give you a little bit of PIUSDT. Okay, let's have a look at that. PIUSDT. Mexi. Let's look at this one. Oh wow, massive massive downtrend. So first things first, when I'm looking at a coin like this, market structure. Low, high. Wow, this is a difficult one because your last lower high for this coin is all the way up here. Okay. Your last lower high is literally up there. That's the last lower high because you have high, low. Yeah, no, this is. Okay. So this is the range. We've come up to hit the top of the range, rejected. I would be looking for the bottom of the range on this coin. Bottom of the range is the next major level, obviously. Or I'd be looking at these lows here. A sweep of these lows at roughly 20 cents, 19 cents. So yeah, that's the next major. We are probably at the 618. Okay, so we're at the golden pocket. We could get, you know, because Bitcoin, if Bitcoin gets a nice pump here, well, PIU being at the 618 could get a bit of a reaction here as well. We don't have any daily levels inside, only above. Now this has been an amazing coin to short, but for longs, I mean, I would only be looking at 19 cents or 16.7 cents. But for shorts, I mean, yeah, there's loads of places to short this coin. If you weekly level, guys, you'll soon understand that my weekly levels are green, my daily levels are purple. So and if you have a question about how I find any of the levels that I find, just let me know as well. As you can see, guys, a lot of resistance. yeah, so some nice confluence here at roughly 20 cents, the golden pocket and that daily level for short. This has just been dumped on. I guess there was a slight sign of strength. Let's call this key. Okay. Now, whenever I call something key, I'm referring to market structure. Okay, so as we were coming down, you know, we're making lower lows, lower highs. Yeah, so looking on the 4 hourly, right? So that's the last lower high, okay, on the 4 hourly. So as you can see, we have, and the reason why it's validated as the last lower high is because when we came down after this high to break this level right here to the left, this is just a little bit of education, guys, for those of you that don't know it. As we came down and broke this to the left, okay, we made a new low, yeah? And then we broke that last lower high. Fuck, alert's going off, so we'll do this quickly. But we broke it, we managed to stay above it just a little bit. So we have a slight change of trend, okay? Now, this has been dumped on. We need to find support here at the golden pocket or at the 786, okay? And we can speculate that for PI that we're putting in a higher low, and then, you know, and then hopefully get a move to the upside. But yeah, that's enough for PI. Let's have a look at CAS. Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin's come down again, keeps flirting with that level. CAS. Yeah, see? Okay, CAS is getting a nice, getting that volatility now. I would love for it to come and bounce off of this anchored VWAP and then close back above the daily, okay? But it doesn't matter. If we lose that level, we've also got this MPOC plus weekly beneath as well. So it's simple, guys. If we don't get a nice reaction at any of these zones, we're not taking the trade. We want to be patient. We need to be patient here. It's better off we wait another, you know, we wait for New York and see what New York does. Any other coins that you guys want me to look at? Any other coins? Let's look at the order flow here. Wow, so look at the open interest, okay guys? This is the, I'll explain this to you. So open interest is when you have rising open interest like this, it means more people are entering into positions, okay? When you have decreasing open interest, that means people are closing positions. So the fact that we have this rising open interest on this drop in price action lets us know that short positions have been opening up aggressively, okay? And even more aggressively at the lows, which can mean one of two things. If we lose support and price plummets down, well, that means it's probably going to be a strong move down, okay? Because there's a lot of new participants opening up positions. However, if you get a strong move down with rising open interest and then the price closes back above a key support resistance level, like for example these lows at 2945, let's call it 3000, okay? Because 2945, okay? Well, then that will mean that there's a lot of trapped short positions beneath, which could give us fuel. Those trapped short positions have to close their shorts, and when they close their shorts, they're actually buying back longs, okay? Which fuels the price up. So we could get a bit of a short squeeze anytime now, okay? When the New York market opens on Ethereum. Let's have a look at, okay, so CBD is more neutral on Bitcoin. Back in a sec, guys. Just gonna get a glass of water. Plug my phone in. Few more minutes until New York kicks off. Let me know, guys, if there's any other coins you want me to look at in the meantime, because we're gonna have to wait for some volatility to pass by anyway. So, or if you want me to show you, do a little bit of educational things, like how I find the levels that I look at, anything at all. How to determine where liquidity is at on a chart? Okay, good question. So if we were looking at Bitcoin, you want to take your levels off the charts. Okay. So you want to have a clean chart, and okay, so as you can see at the exteriors, right, you have these pivots, okay? The ones on the outside, they have the most liquidity, yeah? So let's start from the left. We had this high here. So at the time, we didn't have any of this price action to the right-hand side. We came down, okay? And eventually you can see when we came up and took those highs, we got a nice move to the downside, okay? And then we had another move up and we took the liquidity here as well, and we got a massive move to the downside. And also that's happening in the opposite direction as well, because we had these stop losses. There would have been a lot of stop losses beneath this pivot here. So it's basically when you get pullbacks in the market, okay, people that actually know how to trade, that are actually buying on pullbacks rather than, you know, FOMOing in, they're putting their stop losses down here, yeah? And for the ones that are not taking profits, they're basically just getting stopped out, okay? If they didn't take profits, well, they got stopped out right over here, yeah? So that's how you look for liquidity. Let's go. For example, we're looking at 90,643. Okay, now you can use you know, like Glassnode, different websites that will actually show you the liquidity heat map as well. They're helpful as well. It's nice to understand, you know, the way that I'm showing you as well, where stop losses and liquidity are likely to be, and then you pair that up with something like Glassnode, CoinGlass, and you find a liquidity heat map, just to give you that confirmation of how much liquidity is actually there. But yeah, it's quite simple. So that trade that we got into on Friday, we had this low over here from last week, and we made this slightly higher low. Okay, so I was letting everyone know that the market is building up this liquidity to eventually take it before getting a nice rise up. Okay, we had a couple of fake outs to the upside, but eventually we came and we took that liquidity. Now we could have waited for 83,755, or we ended up just getting the reclaim on that 4-hour candle, and we were able to, that was a liquidity grab. That was just a liquidity grab, and then we got acceptance back above that zone, and that was the reason why I love those trades. As I said, you can have your risk to reward is really nice. The invalidation from entry is very close, okay? Because if you entered on one of these candles here, you're less than a couple of % away from your stop loss, and you're aiming for for this high over here, which eventually was taken out. Okay, Bitcoin's getting a drop now. 3 minutes into the New York session. What's order flow saying? Okay, so we're getting a bit of bearish CBD here. Okay, so there's longs opening up here that are getting absorbed slightly. As you can see, CBD is rising, but price is, yeah, okay. Longs opening here. We're gonna have to be patient, guys. We're gonna have to be patient. But yeah. See, there's lower highs on price, higher highs on CBD, indicating absorption, okay? So unless we clear this level, this is going to be bearish. This is bearish CBD playing out right here, guys. We are likely to get a bit of a drop here. What have I done with my fucking indicator here? So CAS has come down and hit the anchored VWAP. Need to get acceptance back above this daily or previous day value area low. And that's not going to happen unless Bitcoin starts to make a move up. So guys, personally, I'm only going to be entering a long if I see a sign of strength. Right now, we're beneath 87,522 and we haven't closed. Look, these are 1 hour candles. We haven't you know, since we've had the news at 11:30, we haven't managed to close above. Closing right on the level there before New York is no good to me. I want to see at least a 30-minute candle close above after New York. And this candle is not is a bearish candle actually. This green candle is a bearish candle. CAS losing the anchored VWAP, so now we look down to the NPOC weekly level. See why you need to be patient, guys. If we had it opened, right, and this is me included, right, because I actually opened a position even before the news came out, right, because I expected us to push on higher before the news came out, after we had a 30-minute reclaim of this level, right? So on this candle right here, which was at 10 o'clock, an hour and a half before the news even came out, I was expecting that we'd push up higher, but it was a bit of a gamble. Yeah. Wow, look at the ES, guys. Look at that. The ES is so unpredictable at times. Wow. So remember how I told you that, you know, when New York opens, it can go one direction and then pump the other direction. So that's what we're seeing. It was a bit of a fake out beneath as soon as it opened, getting people bearish, and now it's pumping. Hopefully we get that. So we're not far away from all-time highs on the stock market. Hopefully we get a bit of a reaction here for Bitcoin as well after this move up on the ES. But still, guys, let's wait for that for a close back above. Just waiting patiently, guys. We're still in no man's land. We're between 87,500 and 86,760. So there's no trade to be taken personally for me. It's a gamble here. We need to reclaim that 87,522 or go lower and test 86,760. Nice to see the ES getting a move on the stock market, but until Bitcoin reclaims or goes lower, there's nothing to be done. Okay, so Bitcoin's looks like it's getting a move down. Hurry up and take the fucking lows at 86,769. That's what we're currently looking at, guys. We're looking at a liquidity grab. We don't have any local, daily, weekly, or naked point of control levels. We have the value area low of this overall range, okay? Matching up nicely with this SFP zone. That's what we're looking at, this golden pocket here. We want price to come down into that zone. Or we could be potentially trying to stay above this. Let's see. Whew. Stock market pumping, Bitcoin fucking dumping. Patience, guys, just patience. We gotta be patient. Yep, it looks like we're going down, man. So let's see. Stock market's pumping. Bitcoin's dumping. So it won't surprise me here if we get a reaction just a little bit lower. Okay, we're into the golden pocket. So now it's make or break time. ETH is at that value area low we were speaking about, so it's at support. We've got Bitcoin at support, we've got ETH at support, we've got CAS at support. Look at that reaction off of the weekly level. So if CAS manages to, you know, have a nice bullish candle here while Bitcoin, we're getting that nice reaction here. This is a nice reaction so far. We're at the value area low for ETH and Bitcoin. Let's have a look at order flow. Wow. Okay. A lot of shorts opening at the lows here. Just gotta be patient, guys. Gotta be patient. Viron, you said, guess I'll just long earlier. You need to be patient, bro. You need to be patient. Wow, stock market's going to be going to all-time highs. Alex, we want to see acceptance back above this pink line, 86,769, because that is a low that was put in 20th of December. Now, if you want to take a bit more of an aggressive approach, well then you can count this as being a liquidity zone. here, 86,597, and we've already SFP'd that level. But it looks like we're going to get acceptance back above this zone anyway. So that, in my opinion, is we've just closed right on 86,769. So that's not real. If you're going to take the long here, guys, stop loss goes beneath the low. That's an acceptable long position in my opinion now. Okay, that's a 30-minute close. You can see that's a bullish candle. I mean, it would have been nicer if it closed a little bit higher, but nothing's perfect. In my opinion, this is worth the risk to reward. Okay, so let's have a look. Your stop loss goes beneath the low here. Give it a little bit of room just in case you come and get wicked out here. Let's just have a look where TP1 should go. TP1 is going to be the VWAP, guys. The anchored, no, sorry, not anchored VWAP, the session VWAP. So session VWAP is going to be your TP1. So this trade gives a pretty nice risk to reward. Okay. So if you're longing Bitcoin, stop loss goes, give it a little bit of room because these early longs could get stopped out. We might see an SFP of the SFP. But Bitcoin's trying to get acceptance back above. And guys, that means obviously for, you know, you can see CAS as well. If you want to take that long on CAS has got acceptance back above the MPOC and weekly. This is an area that you want to take the long from now. Okay, stop loss goes beneath the low and you're targeting the VWAP. Okay, so all the way up here you're targeting your long position. Looks like this: entry, stop loss, give it a little bit of room, and then okay, even so TP1 is already a 2-to-1 trade. Okay, so it's a nice trade because after that, I mean, you're going to be looking for at least these highs here, but in my opinion, up into this golden pocket range. Okay, so yeah, Ethereum's getting a bit of a reaction off the value area low as well. So this is all Bitcoin dependent, guys. Okay, it's all Bitcoin dependent at the moment. Yes, if we don't get acceptance back above, we're likely to go. If we don't get acceptance back above here for Bitcoin, we're likely to go to 83,755. So yeah, this is do or die here, guys. Do or die. This daily level's insignificant. We've already cleared out all of this liquidity down here. So we can look towards 83,755 if we do not stay above here. Cass looking really nice, whoever caught that one. So now you see, guys, I'm so glad I did this live stream with you, because now you see the importance of just remaining patient. I mean, we're not out of the woods yet. This could just reverse and we get stopped out. But honestly, if we get stopped out, if we see 10 of these trades, guys, we take these kind of trades. These are our bread and butter. These are the ones that make me successful, okay? We take these every day without hesitation, no emotion. Even if you get stopped out sometimes with these trades, but the risk to reward, and it is the correct trade to take. No one can say to you that is the wrong trade to be taking. These are the trades that you want to be taking without any hesitation. Hit the like button, that's right. Thank you, Zoom in. Hit the like button. Appreciate that, guys. Hit the like button. So we're getting a bit of volatility again on the stock market. It went all the way up to these local highs and then looks like it's failing to stay above. That's why we're getting a bit of a drop now on Bitcoin. Trying to reclaim 86,769, guys. Now, If we lose this level, it's unlikely that we're going to get this trade tonight here, or probably daytime where you are. But the next level, guys, I'm only interested in Bitcoin 83,755 and then 82,000, because we do have some nice confluence there at 82,000. So at 83,755 we have the 786 Fibonacci. At 82k, which is a nice psychological whole number, we have the 886 as well, and then the overall range below 80,500. They're the levels to the downside. And to the upside, guys, we want to be taking profits at this VWAP, okay? The VWAP here is take profit 1, because this can easily, you need to pay yourself, because this could easily reject here, backtest, and get continuation lower, guys, okay? So you really want to be taking profits at the VWAP. As well as we have a look at the anchor VWAP. That might be a nice take profit TP2. That's actually a nice take profit 2 zone as well, because it matches up nicely with these highs. This lower high here. But definitely, guys, because we're so far away from the VWAP, you want to take profits at this VWAP, and then, you know, you can be free with where you want to take profits after that. Maybe you can use a trailing stop loss. Yeah, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Guys, I'm actually going to end the stream here, okay? I still think it's an acceptable long position, because we've had the SFP of 86,769. We've had that reaction, okay? On the 30-minute, on the 1 hour. It's the only trade I see locally. So just to recap, if we lose the value area low here at 86,365, well then we're looking all the way down to 83,000. 755. Make sure you use tight risk management. This is for educational purposes, okay? I'm not a financial advisor. This is just paper trading. Make sure you protect position. Take profit at the VWAP. Okay, guys? Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one.